Hey, it worked. That's neat. All right, gonna put this here in this special holder I made just for it that I know I tested. See if this works. There we go. Hey, wow, someone joined. Neato. Okay, so I am about to record my Head in the Clouds segment for next Monday's Board Game Breakfast. And usually the segment's about 3 minutes. I try to shoot as close to 3 minutes of footage as possible because it's really hard to cut down. But the recording process, I usually do 1, 2, maybe sometimes 3 takes because sometimes I have equipment troubles and I have to splice stuff together. And I messed up a lot. So if I mess up a lot, I'll have to bore you with more and more takes. So should be really riveting. I'm looking forward to it. I know that. So, all right. I'm going to start my teleprompter, and that camera's pointing at me along with my nifty little periscope camera that I set up there. And as long as nothing falls over, I'm going to start. Mics are on. And starting the teleprompter. Oh, and the camera. Camera is cameraing. And let me just reset a setting here and make sure that nothing falls over. Here we go. Hello, Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise here. And if you're anything like me, then you not only have a severe allergy to dehydrated cantaloupe juice, but you also spend a lot of your spare time thinking about ways to improve the components in your board game collection. For example, several weeks ago, I did a segment on the different thicknesses of little plastic bags that are available for storing one's board game components in. The response to that segment was absolutely the same as any other segment. Actually, it was a little bit less. None. Nobody really responded at all. But I kept telling myself that that's because there was one aspect of board game component bagging that I completely omitted from that segment. You see, while I have come to terms with being full of hot air myself, I have no tolerance for billowy, bloated board game baggies. And that's why I'm excited to bring you the first episode in this all-new one-part series focusing on unique tools of the board game aficionado. Today's episode, utilizing polyethylene ventilation technology to compress component containers. And then, if there's time, I'll have a really neat little intro title here. Then after the really awesome theme music ends, I will continue with the following. Today's tool of the trade tip comes from longtime Head in the Clouds viewer Chaz Marler, who uses a simple hole punch to vent board game baggies, reducing the amount of precious box space that they require. Chaz writes, simply punching a hole in the corner of a bag with a standard hole punch allows the trapped air inside to escape. It's a subtle difference, but it does add up. And in more than one case, it's made the difference in whether or not I've been able to fit an expansion's components into the base game's box. Wow! Well, thanks for the tip, Chaz. Maybe I'll even invite you onto the show sometime. But not right now. If you use this technique, I find it works best with slightly thicker 4mm bags. And to prevent accidental ripping, be sure not to punch the hole too close to the bag's edge. And in my experience, I have never had components fall out through the punched hole. So, seems to work pretty well. So with that, here's to the simple hole punch, a very useful tool for a board gamer to have at their disposal. And what about you? Are there any unusual or ingenious tools that you use to maintain your board game collection? Let me know in the comments below, and if I become desperate enough for content, I may feature them in a future segment. All right. Ta-da! Wow, I did that in one take. That never happens. Maybe having a little live studio audience actually helps. All right. let me stop that camera from going. Let me reset here. And so now what I'm going to do, and I'm sorry, by the way, anyone who's writing comments, my phone is way over by my camera over there, the little holder, and I cannot see your comments. So I don't mean to be ignoring you, but I am ignoring you. So I'm sorry, I just can't see your comments floating by. But I do appreciate them, and I'm hoping that this records and saves it so I can go back later and read the comments and maybe respond to them on Twitter. Because I'm just that type of guy. All right, so now I'm going to do a second take for safety, and I'm going to just reset my little accoutrement here. All right, restart my teleprompter and the camera. And what's nice is now that I have one take that I hopefully can use, second one and such, I usually start to get a little zanier and zanier as they go on. Knowing that I have one in the can takes a lot of the pressure off to get a good take. So here we go. Hello, Chaz Marler from Paradise here. And if you are anything like me, then you not only have a severe allergy to dehydrated cantaloupe juice, but you also spend a lot of your spare time thinking about ways to improve the components in your board game collection. For example, several weeks ago, I did a segment on the different thicknesses of plastic bags that are available for storing one's game components in. Oh, and the response to that segment was absolutely the same as every other segment. Okay, actually it was a little bit less. None. Nobody responded at all. At all. But I kept telling myself, right, I'm going to do a cut there and do that but over again. Nobody responded at all. But I kept telling myself that it's probably just because there was one aspect of the board game component bagging situation that I completely omitted from that segment. You see, while I have come to terms with being full of hot air myself, I have no tolerance for billowy, bloated board game baggies. And that's why I'm excited to bring you the first episode in this new one-part series focusing on unique tools of the board game aficionado. Today's episode, utilizing polyethylene ventilation technology to compress component containers. Again, if there's time, in terms of the length of the segment, and if I just have time to edit it, there'll be a little fun title sequence it'll cut to here. Da, 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 da. Hopefully, it will sound better than that, but I don't guarantee it. All right. Back up my teleprompter a little, and this is when I'll return from the title sequence. Today's tool of the trade tip comes from longtime Head in the Clouds viewer, Chaz Marler, who uses a simple hole punch to vent board game baggies, reducing the amount of precious box space that they require. Chaz writes, simply punching a hole in the corner of the bag with a standard hole punch allows the trapped air inside to escape. And it's a subtle difference, but it does add up. And in more than one case, it has made the difference in whether or not I've been able to fit an expansion's components into the base game's box. Oh, wow! Thanks for the tip, Chaz! Maybe I'll even invite you onto the show sometime. But not right now. If you use this technique, I find it works best with slightly thicker 4mm bags. And to prevent ripping, be sure to punch the hole not too close to the bag's edge. And in my experience, I have never had components fall out through the punched hole. So, it seems to work pretty well. So here's to the simple hole punch, a useful tool for a board gamer to have at their disposal. But what about you? Are there any unusual or ingenious tools that you use to maintain your board game collection? Let me know in the comments below, and if I become desperate enough for content, I may feature them in a future segment. And we're out. All right. Well, if there's anybody still watching at this point, thank you for watching. I'm going to shut off the camera. And actually, while I wrap up, I might even now be able to answer any sort of, respond to any comments or anything that anyone has. So if you have a question that I ignored during the recording process, I have 4 minutes left of time to answer anything. And now I have 3 minutes. Wow! I still have 3 minutes. Okay. Well, while I wait for that 3 minutes to, oh wait, there's something. Chaz, you missed so much chatting. Oh, 39 people are watching this? That can't be right. 3 or 9, probably. Needs more butts. Thank you, Gameritis guy. Willie, I would expect nothing less from you. What are you doing? Well, now I'm not doing anything. Now I'm just talking into a phone like an idiot. So I was recording my segment for next week's Board Game Breakfast in front of a live Periscoped audience, but now I'm not doing that anymore. So if you get a 3-hole punch, you can do 3 bags at a time. That is efficient, but I worry how many fingers I would lose from that. I don't want to lose that many fingers. So I want to lose my fingers one at a time. So Rodney from Watch It Play just said something that I missed because I was making a lame joke about 3-hole punch fingers. So hopefully everyone else saw it and it was awesome. And you need a cute meeple-shaped puzzle. Suzanne, I was actually looking at the craft store for, I thought there were hole punches that made like small crescent moon shapes or star holes. I couldn't find any. So I had to go with the standard hole punch. But still, best, $317 I ever spent. So it was worth it. So, all right. What is above the sky? Oh, what is above the okay, well, I'll get to you in a second. Fading Away question or Fading Away comment said that they would buy a Meeple Hole Punch. I would too. I think it's a whole industry that's underutilized. And then Rodney from Watch It Play posted again, what's above the cloud background? He thought it was actual sky. No, we did recently get the roof put back on, so no longer actual sky. It's kind of nice, especially since rainy season's coming up. With the 1 minute I have left, what I'll do is perhaps I'll just pan the camera around and show you guys what my studio looks like. And so what we have here is the sky backdrop that I stand in front of and say silly things. And, and above it, oh brother, above it we have what is the remnants of an old king-sized mattress, king-sized mattress that I took and used for soundproofing in my studio. Sorry to make anyone dizzy. And when I ran out of king-sized mattress material, I actually took my board game budget one month last year, and I bought, come with me. I actually broke down and bought soundproofing foam. And the soundproofing foam, I'll try to go really slow. Here's my board games. Whee for them. Pan around, you can see it's above, all the way around the perimeter of the room. There's the soundproofing foam is all the way around the perimeter of the room. And if you go back and watch earlier Head in the Clouds episodes, like I'm sure you all do, you can hear a distinct difference in the echoiness of the production from before and after I got the foam put up. So, oh, one last thing, neat tip about that foam. If you are wanting to soundproof a recording area and your amazing wife who has only one stipulation, yes, you can buy a foam and you can do it, but you cannot glue it onto the walls. It is possible to put soundproofing foam on your walls without using any glue of any sort. What I did is I actually put wire across the top. I was able to put in a few nails, and using safety pins and bulldog clips, I was able to hang all of the foam around the walls without using any glue. I've been waiting for like a year to be able to share that with someone who might appreciate it. And today I have. So, all right. Well, I am out of time right now. I'm going to go start editing this and actually get done. I'm actually kind of on my lunch break. So I'm going to go edit this, and hopefully you'll see what we recorded today, plus a few extra surprises that I wasn't able to record all in one shot right now that will be added into it perhaps on Monday or whenever, in case Essen or whatever slows it down. But whenever the next Board Game Breakfast is, hopefully you'll see it. So thank you. It's been a lot of fun talking into this little glowing box in my hand that hopefully there's other people on the other side of. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.